Hello and welcome to the Football for Kids podcast with me, Darren Rees. In this episode, we're going to be talking about a player who will go down as one of the greatest to ever lace up a pair of boots. A king and an icon on and off the pitch. Of course, we're going to be talking about the simply tremendous Mo Salah. Before we get going, I wanted to let you know that this week on the Football for Kids podcast, it's Legends Week. There will be 2 episodes on footballing legends released on the podcast and an exclusive one to say a big thank you to the super listeners who have supported the podcast on Patreon. The Patreon episode is about a Manchester United legend who was a one-club player and won the treble. Can you guess who that might be? Patreon listeners, that is available for you to listen to now. All the information on becoming a super listener and supporting the podcast is in the description of this episode. Right then, it's time to do some of your shout-outs and your messages. Hi Darren, my name is Oscar Simpkin and I am 8 years old. I'm a massive Liverpool fan and I go to Northway Primary School in Maghole, Liverpool. I play for Marina Sands under 8s on a Saturday. Please could you give a shout out to my Marina Sands under 8 friends and school friends, including Jordan, Logan and Oliver. I love all of your episodes. My favourites are the Jude Bellingham, Phil Foden and Messi podcast. Please can you do an episode about James Milner, as he's older than my dad and he's still a great footballer. Also Matty Cash for Aston Villa, as he's one of my favourites. Thank you, from Oscar. Well, Oscar, thank you so much for your message and thank you for being a listener. And a massive shout out to you, all of your football teammates and of course your brilliant coaches. Also a massive thank you for your requests and ideas. The next one says, my name is Ruben. I'm 8 years old and my brother Lox is 5. We live in North Yorkshire and we love everything about football. Our main team is the Mighty Whites, Leeds United. But we like so many players, we watch many games on the TV and practice every day. In the rain, wind, snow and even in the dark. Well, it sounds like you two love your football. We'd love to hear a podcast on an unsung hero of football. Some unusual facts that fans may not come across every day. Thank you for taking the time to read this. Looking forward to catching up on your new episodes this weekend. From Ruben and Lox. Well, thank you very much both of you for being listeners and thank you for such a lovely message as well. The next one says, hi Darren, my name is Max and I am 9. I play for Great Danes Jaguars and I would like to shout out my teammates Oscar and Oliver. I think you should do a Pele versus Maradona episode. My coach's name is Darren as well, and that is from Max. Well, thank you very much, Max, and your coach must be a really good man and amazing at football because he's got a wonderful name. Thank you for being a listener, Max, and thank you so much for your message. And the last one on this episode says, hi Darren, I am Savram, and I'm 7 years old, and I follow all the stories you shared on your podcast. I would like to have a Bobby Moore episode and one on Eric Ten Hag and even one on Pele and Carlo Ancelotti and Benzema. I would like to get a shout out for my team, Solihull Moors. Well, thank you very much for being a listener, Savram. I really appreciate your message and you being a listener. And those episodes that you have suggested have all gone on the list. If you would like to send a message in to shout out to your football team or your football mates or put a request in, you can send an email to footballforkidspodcast@gmail.com. Right then, it's time to get into one of the most requested episodes I've ever had about the brilliant Mo Salah. Mohamed Salah was born in Nagrid in Egypt in 1992 and is the youngest of 2 boys. When Salah was younger, he had a ball attached to his foot. Well, so it seemed anyway. Mo Salah and a football went together like Batman and Robin. If you saw Mo as a kid, you would almost always see a football. When Mo was growing up, Like everyone, he had footballing icons who he loved to watch and was inspired by. Zinedine Zidane, R9 Ronaldo and Francesco Totti. They were some of the players he loved to watch. Inspired by some legends, he started playing for some local youth teams when he was around 12 years old and thrived on the pitch. One day, when Mo was around 14 years old, a football scout came along to watch a match he was playing in. The scout had been given some information about a kid who was sensational, someone he needed to watch. However, this kid wasn't Mo Salah. It was a different young footballer. The scout watched the match, but he couldn't take his eyes off of Mo. He was meant to be there to watch this other player, but he was completely distracted by how good Salah was. Off the back of this, Mo ended up being signed to Al Makaloun and joined the Youth Academy. They are a team in the Egyptian Premier League. When Mo was in the Youth Academy, he would travel 3 hours to get to training. That is a long way to go for a training session, but Mo loved the game and he would do anything to play. When Mo Salah was 15 years old and still playing in the Youth Academy, he was spotted by the first team manager of the senior squad and was brought on to play for them. Although Salah was doing all the right things on the pitch, with his extreme pace, slick skills and amazing dribbling, he really struggled to score. He would get so frustrated and burst into tears in the dressing room, but the people closest to him said it only made him stronger and more determined to score. The goals would come, and he knew it. After 3 seasons playing in the Egyptian Premier League, Mo did end up scoring 12 goals, and although he wasn't banging them in every week, other teams across the world were starting to notice him for all of his other attributes. And in February of 2012, the Egyptian Premier League was suspended due to some major issues with fans fighting and disagreeing. Mo Salah ended up taking part in a friendly match following the suspension of the Egyptian Premier League. It was the Egyptian under-23s versus a team in Switzerland called Basel. Salah came on as a sub in the second half and ended up scoring 2 amazing goals. Following on from that game, he signed for the club and was then a Basel player. Mo stayed with them for 2 seasons, playing 95 games, scoring and creating some wonderful goals. By now, he was really starting to find his feet as a professional footballer, and there were eyes on him across the world. In 2014, the Premier League clubs Chelsea and Liverpool both wanted to buy Mo, but Chelsea got there first and paid £11 million for him. However, some players just don't click with some clubs, like we spoke about the other week with Kevin De Bruyne. Chelsea was not a place that Mo Salah was going to thrive at, and after 2 seasons and barely being played at all, Mo was loaned out to the Italian club Fiorentina and the Italian club Roma. When Mo was playing for Roma on loan, he was played almost every game of the season and scored some terrific goals. Roma ended up signing Salah on a permanent deal, and he spent a further season with them, scoring important goals and helping Roma finish in the top 3 of the Italian top division. In 2017, Liverpool finally got their man though. Mo Salah joined Liverpool and the club paid nearly £39 million for him, and he became the first Egyptian player to ever play for Liverpool. Mo Salah fitted Liverpool like a glove. Everything just worked for him at the club, and his on-field stat proved it. In his first season with the club, he was the Premier League top goal scorer, scoring 32 amazing goals. Legendary Liverpool player Steven Gerrard said at the time, "We are witnessing the start of greatness here." In his second season with Liverpool, he again won the Golden Boot. However, in this season, he was the joint winner with Aubameyang and Sadio Mane. But to top it off, he was also a part of a squad who won the Champions League. In the following season, Mo Salah was a major part of Liverpool winning the Premier League by creating opportunities and scoring some amazing goals. So far, Mo Salah has played 6 seasons for Liverpool, winning the Champions League, the Premier League, the League Cup, the FA Cup, and so much more. Salah isn't just an iconic Liverpool player. His nearly 90 games for his country of Egypt and making it to the final of the Africa Cup of Nations twice has made him a global superstar. Salah has inspired and motivated sports people across the world and changed the attitudes of those living in his community which he grew up in. Many of the parents in Egypt, where Salah grew up, were almost against sport and wanted their children to do almost nothing but focus on their studies. Mo Salah changed the minds of the people, and now parents are encouraging their children to play sports. Salah is such an inspiration across Egypt and the Arabic world that many of the children and adults have grown their hair out and asked the barbers to make them look like him. There are now pictures of art painted onto the walls of Mo Salah across Egypt, Liverpool, New York and everywhere else across the world. So from 3 hours travelling to training to feeling incredibly frustrated and upset in a dressing room, Mo Salah stayed determined, focused and didn't let anything get in his way. No matter how bad things were, he pushed through and he didn't give up. And because of that, he has now become one of the greatest players in the world and somebody who will be spoken about for a very, very long time. I hope that you've enjoyed listening and learning about the story and career of the wonderful Mo Salah. And remember, if you know someone who loves football just as much as you do, then please tell them about Football for Kids. And whether you're playing football soon, watching it on the telly or pitchside, I hope that you enjoy the game. See you next time.